All right, good. It didn't kick me out. I got worried for a second. It froze up on my phone. Hello and greetings, everybody, and good night to you all. How are you tonight? We already got people dropping links in here. What's up, Mike? What's going on, Trish? John Rupp, Phil Lockler, Jack Napier. We got Mark One Ho. What's going on? Hey, Wendy, I got you backstage. So, welcome everybody to the show. We got some exciting stuff tonight. We're going to talk about Nebula Pearl. We're going to talk about Naughty Fairies Con, which only has like a day left on it. So if you haven't got in on it, you definitely need to. We're going to talk about Into the Suck 6 a little bit as well. So with that in mind, Alfred and Cara couldn't make it tonight. I just want to say something real quick. They are part of the Nebula Pearl, but with everything going on over the last week, you guys need to keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. They weren't able to make it tonight with everything that's going on. So just keep them in your thoughts. So without further ado, we're going to bring out Miss Wendy Steen Shaner.
Hi, everybody.
Then we're going to bring out CB Zane.
Hi, everybody.
And Mr. Louis Torres. Whoops. Maybe we should edit display name. I don't want to. There we go. Louis. What's going on?
It's I before you, except after all.
And we got Michael Shoemaker. How's it going? And we've got a very special guest as well. Come on, add the stream. There we go. What's going on, Courtney?
Hey, all.
So Nebula Pearl, Louis, February 3rd. Tell us a little bit about it.
February 3rd, Nebula Pearl. Alfred, Cara, thank you very much. If it was not for those two, Nebula Pearl would not be what Nebula Pearl is. I mean, Alfred came up with the characters, the environment, the character design. So, much love to Alfred Trujillo for all that. Sorry, you guys froze up there for a second. Am I coming in okay?
You're coming in just fine.
Looks like I got.
That's great. Yep.
The signal at Hyundai Studios is strong tonight. Oh, what's strong?
And
I said
just
Hyundai
like
and
that.
they cut him off. They're like, he's leeching our bandwidth. There he goes. Louis seems shocked that he's finally going to get the launch Nebula Pearl. Yeah, well, you know, we had that whole stint where Kickstarter's like, this is too hot for Kickstarter. You need to change something on here. So, Wendy, why don't you tell us about your section of the book? So, where are you placed as far as the writing goes within the book? Because if anybody doesn't know, this is a mind meld project. So, one person wrote a few pages of the book, passed it on to the next person who continued the story, and then so on and so forth until it got to the last person. So, tell us a little bit about your part.
I was second, so I went after Cara and Alfred. So I took what they had started with and I built from that. And basically my job was to set up for the next part. So I set up for money.
So you were set up before money. Oh, so Mike, I bet that was interesting. I don't know. I see Wendy posting something about tentacles and.
Yeah, that's what made it too hot for Kickstarter, man.
It's all the tentacles.
Too many tentacles. They just said, you've got to get rid of at least 8 of these tentacles for this project to pass muster. Then we have a specified rule, you know, no more than X number. So, you know, I had to go back and do some editing and censoring and all that good stuff, I guess. But, the idea for the project was terrific. And I've seen stories where people try to kind of follow one another. You know, one person's written this much, and then the next person comes in, then the next person comes in. And sometimes they just don't work. I mean, there's just such a stylistic difference. But in this case, it really all came together extremely well. I thought. I thought everybody just picked up where the other person had left off, and do it while doing their own thing. Still made it consistent, which was the most important aspect of it. And the first Lewis is back into hizzy.
Pledge to Nebula Pearl before I get cut off again. February 3rd. Click.
But Lewis, I was just explaining that the project with each creator getting the handoff, as it were, tossing the baton as they're doing the relay race, was it was a fun challenge, because, like I said, especially in just straight prose stories, you can really feel. I mean, it's a jarring thing sometimes when you're reading something and then a new author picks up and they just have a completely different style. Comics lends itself much better, I think, to this approach, and it worked out extremely well, I thought, in the end. And the first two portions of the book before I got it, really the hard work had been done in terms of the setup, because by then we knew who characters were, what the ship was, what they were all about. These cannibalistic cat people. I guess I don't know if it's cannibalism exactly if you're eating an alien as opposed to, say, one of your own. There are some moral quandaries there that have to be explored. But the upshot was that by the time I got it, I was in perfect position, because I was like, okay, my thing, action. That's what I write. That's what I do. That's what I love. And I was like, well, what kind of action can I bring to this? They're not going to fight with each other. They just met one another. And I was like, well, they don't exactly do Robin Hood-esque kinds of things. They're not going out there donating to orphanages and things like that. They're doing some pretty awful stuff. So at some point, somebody's likely to have been bothered by a friend or coworker having been eaten by one of these out of control, bloodthirsty cat women. And so I took it from there. I said, let's have them meet a client who isn't a client, but was hired by someone that knew a former client, and let's chase the cats around the house a little bit. And so that's basically what happened. And then when I was done with my little bit and left it at a portion where they were kind of in a tight spot, that's where Mr. CB Zane took over and brought it home. And he did a beautiful job of finishing it up. And it's a tight, self-contained book. I think that people are really going to dig it. I really believe that. And I'm just thankful, not just to the people that I got to do it with, but also for Lewis for thinking of me in bringing me in, because I had a blast with it. What can I say? I really enjoy it, and hope more projects like this are in the offing somewhere, because they're really fun to participate in.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a blast.
It was. It'll be a blast to read, I think, too. I really do. I think this is a hot property, and I think that everybody's going to like it a lot.
So it went Alfred, Cara, then Wendy, then Michael, and then CB. He left you in a tight spot.
Yeah. At first, it was intimidating, because so much had been laid out, and here was my job to bring it all home. Yeah. And when Lewis had kind of hand selected the order. Well, not hand selected, but randomly selected who would go in what place. And when I found out I had to bring it home, I was like, oh, here we go. But like Mike said, everything was laid out so well. And he gave me this action sequence to kind of, I guess, wrap up and bring home. And there'd been enough characters in there that I had a lot to work with. Just not a lot of pages to do it in. And surprisingly, and thankfully, it came to me quick. And I think I wrote the whole final, 6 pages, in about a day. It just clicked. And like Mike said, it's amazing how well it all came together, how fluid it sounds, because it, like, the risk is that it sounds segmented, but I don't think it reads that way at all. And it's just a cool concept, and it was really neat to be part of this because, I mean, you know, Cara and Alfred are awesome, and they set such a great table. And Wendy brought out a little bit more of the characterization. Michael brought the action, you know, swinging the bat, so to speak. I just had to carry it over the fence. So it's a cool project. And then the biggest thing, too, I thought, is that Lewis took it and had this vision of this manga kind of look, and it was absolutely perfect for the project. And all the things that he's been putting together behind the scenes, the banners, the advertisements, it fits really, really well. I think people are going to be excited about it.
I've got to point out one thing, one comment that our pal Steph Wilson has just brought up. Lewis has a dashboard cam. It's live, PD, Texas. I don't know how many of you watch that show, but it's fun. And yeah, live PD, Texas, baby. Woo!
Well, see, it's live PD, Texas, but really he's in New Jersey. He's sitting outside, probably in Steph Wilson's driveway, looking through the window. So, Courtney, how do you feel about getting to work with all these fine people on the covers that you got coming out? Because you've got covers on Into the Suck 6, and you had a cover on Fire Bitch 2, and you have some stuff for Wendy Steen Shaner's Naughty Fairies Con as well.
Yes, and then everything that I just wrapped up for Totally Rad. So that last one, which was the Desperately Seeking Susan homage, like that was kind of like a idea that came like on a whim to me, and I brought it up to Jim thinking it would be like for a campaign down the road, and he's like, okay, let's do it. I was like, oh, okay, hold on, this thing's like almost finishing its campaign. So I ended up just getting up really early one morning and staying up very late, doing that, sent it to Jim, and then the next morning I woke up and he already had it colored through the colorist. So that's how we got it, you know, that live and going for the campaign to wrap up. So everybody keeps me on my toes, but I definitely appreciate it. I'm trying to wrap up just a few things right now. So I have 2 traditional commissions I have to do, one for Tom and one for Jay. So I'm trying to get those done. And then that's probably going to be my break before surgery. I did squeeze in a few things, even though I kind of said like, oh, I'm done right now, but I kind of was ahead of schedule. So I'm going to be slowing down in probably like 2 weeks, guys. And then I have to take a 2-week break. And then hopefully after that, I'll be up and going again. I do have another project with the gym and Totally Rad. So that's going to be a cover set that will be coming out in the spring. And we'll see what happens going from there. But I definitely appreciate it for everybody, you know, giving me a chance and letting me be on all your projects. So just know I'm very honored and thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Your work is beautiful, and you're just knocking it out of the park. Every cover that comes out and every piece that I'm seeing, I'm just like, holy cow! I didn't think it would get better than the one before, and it's amazing, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because Courtney, you did want to be in a print for Into the Suck. I want to say maybe even it was the 2nd issue, and now you're back here with Into the Suck 6, and I just absolutely love your wanted cover. And if you pledge on Into the Suck 6 for the cover set of 7, you get Courtney's sticker that she did, and that looks beautiful too. And there's also another stretch goal that features Courtney's wanted cover, but with a little bit of a an Old West twist to it. But it's so cool to have stayed in touch with Courtney and gotten to be friendly with her over the last few months. And she's so talented, and I know you're just going to see more and more of her artwork. So that's super cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a name to keep in play for when Scorpiana 3 is in development here in the not too distant future, and that's one of the people we've talked about previously. Not trying to refer to you like you're not in the chat room, Courtney. But yeah, definitely when somebody's on a roll like that, you just kind of say, this is someone we need to enter into negotiations with. Our people will call your people, and we'll work something out.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All the husbands are standing by. They're waiting for your call.
Oh, exactly. And you can get double the order. Just includes separate processing and handling.
Yeah.
Did Russ lock up too?
It looks like he.
So Russ is
It
frozen
must be-
and Lewis disappeared again.
It's kind of like a Russ slideshow. It's kind of like somebody clicking on PowerPoint. Click.
Yeah. Listen, we can all play along. We just have to go like this.
Yeah.
Russ must be on the same Wi-Fi.
Hey guys, I'll
signal
be
as
right back
Lewis.
and right in just a
Yeah,
second.
I
But
think
Lewis,
Lewis and Russ are definitely sharing their Wi-Fi.
I don't know if you guys are.
each time Lewis
I don't
gets kicked, it's lagging my connection.
Oh no!
I'll be right back.
Do you guys remember a duo named Shields and Yarnell?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought you might.
they did the
Courtney,
best.
you're too young.
Yeah. They did the best. Of course, their whole thing was pantomime, and
Right.
so and they did really good robots. In fact, if you remember the movie Spaceballs, I believe that she is the female robot that's voiced by Joan Rivers. She's actually the one doing all the robotic motions and stuff.
See, I learned.
I have to check the credits again, but when I saw that name, I was like, I know that person. I know that person.
I did not know that. That's really interesting.
Apologies, guys. Every
used to
time
love
Lewis
it.
gets kicked, it was lagging my connection, and he got kicked so many times it just totally locked me up.
No,
It's okay. By the way, wait, before we go on, we have to explain because I know Steph Wilson's out there. Steph, Spaceballs is a movie that came out that parodies Star Wars. Just so you know, it's a good one. You should check it out. It's pretty funny. So there you have it.
Poor Steph. I'm not sure he's aware of anything like in the genre-related category before Transformers. He's just young pup like that.
Welcome back.
So-
Sorry, guys. I'm just getting caught up here.
Hi, Lewis. Lewis is currently in the witness protection program right now.
It explains the shitty Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, the bad Wi-Fi.
Lewis, who? I don't see his face.
Yeah.
This piece of
So before he gets kicked, we're going to show off some of the Kickstarter here, if things will play along until he gets kicked again. Anyway, or I get kicked again because he gets kicked.
Well, we've got an awesome still 3/4 view of his face.
Yeah.
Everybody take a screenshot. I want to see the photoshops later.
Yeah. I want someone to Photoshop a Mike Tyson tattoo on his eye there.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
So here we have the project. You got a $3,500 goal with 35 days.
That works out to like $100 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
I think they're going to get it in more.
Mike, you're like a human calculator.
Once in a while when the math is easy, I can whip it out. But
Smithers is in the house. I should say hi to everybody that's out there.
Yeah,
Mike and Jack and Smithers and Trish and all these the names we all love so much that are so good to us.
Steph, I thought that Lewis was getting arrested on live PD. Oh man, yeah, get pulled out of the car. Suddenly, you got to dance with the cop.
Right.
So here you guys got the standard cover.
Here Kerrigan did such a great job on that one. Turned out so good.
Yeah.
And there you guys go for
It's
the
got
digital
such a nice
copy.
mood to it.
Yeah. So for you guys get the $6 PDF copy of Nebula, the $15 digital copy of Nebula Pearl Standard with the digital pinup of Brandy Love for $15, and this lovely main cover here.
And Mike in the chat brings up a really good point. The best part of Nebula Pearl is we are caught up and only need the current issue, and that's the truth.
Yep.
I mean, when you have an ongoing issue, it can be a little tougher sell, but if it's a self-contained thing and nobody says, oh, I need to chase down the other ones, then yeah, they're likely to buy in.
Oh, don't tell me it went blurry on me again. Why does StreamYard do this every once in a while?
Oh,
Blame it
technology.
on Lewis.
Yeah, but no, it's StreamYard. It only randomly does it. I would do like 5 live shows, and then like all of a sudden it does blurry on the screen share for some reason. Let me refresh the page, guys. Apologies. But Lewis sent this to me so I could show off kind of the preview for you guys, because there is no Notify link up yet that I know. Oh, no, there is a Notify link up. I mean, there's no preview of the tiers. Sorry.
I think one of the things that I did when I was getting ready to write this one is I must have read Cara and Alfred's part like 50 times, just trying to get their wording and the way they're saying things and lingo. And I took so many notes on different things that I wanted to make sure that I said correctly or that I included to keep it continuous. Did you guys kind of do the same thing? Once you took over, so like Mike, after you took over from me, did you do the same thing, or was it a little bit more organic and easier, just to like, oh, I got this, and you just?
I'm just gonna say that I felt like I understood the setup well enough, and I was really able to kind of just get right into mine. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. Maybe I should have read it 50 times. Maybe when it comes out, everybody says it was great, except for like the middle, the third batch of 6 pages. Oh my God, what kind of mushrooms was that guy on? I haven't heard any complaints from my fellow participants, so I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that it did work out well that way. But yeah. I mean, I have to say the setup. You guys were doing the tough work. I mean, honestly, when you're debuting a new property, you have to do the world building. You have to make sure people understand who the major players are, how it all works, etc. And by the time it was my turn, it was like, all right, let's go. And next thing you know, I fired the starter pistol, and it's kind of like CB, when he got his, he knocked his out in a day, and it was about that. It was about that for me. I mean, I stalled a little bit because it's not how I'm used to working. But once I sat down to do it, it was honestly, I don't want to say it was a breeze exactly. It was, because it was a romp, I guess is the best way to put it. I was just like, this book, we're not trying to redefine morality for Western civilization. We are creating a action space adventure with a kind of a gory edge to it, a sexy edge to it. It's got everything a growing boy and girl needs. So let's just hit it. And so I hit it. And next thing you know, when I handed it off to CB, he didn't have the option of saying, okay, we're in a rested place now. We're in a place where they're all just kind of pontificating over the duality of man and that sort of thing. No, their asses are getting chased by a bad dude. So he hopefully that was of benefit, where you can pick up from there and decide, okay, I got to get them out of this jam, and then I've got to wrap things up. So that just seemed to be the best place to do it. So yeah, I have to say that it was easy, but it was made easy by the tough work that you guys had done ahead of me. And so my hats off. I salute Alfred, Cara, and Wendy for that brilliant setup. And hopefully our payoff will be worth this, the same thing as the setup. So, it was just a lot of fun. It was a good time. Looking forward.
I guess. Yeah, I would say, Wendy, I reread it multiple times. Not so much to get the nuances of the characters, because kind of like what Mike was saying, Tough Work was there. I felt like I knew who the characters were and like how they were talking and stuff. But I wanted to make sure I got the story and the plot and everything, because I don't know, as a writer, sometimes things come naturally to me like this, and it just rolls out, and it's there. And sometimes I think analytically in terms of a 3-act or a 5-act sort of play. And between Alfred, Cara, and Wendy, I mean, you set up acts 1 and 2. If I go Shakespearean here for a bit, so the intro and the rising action were there. Mike took act 3, which is, whatever you want to call it, the turning point, the conflict, and added that, and took me to the point of the falling action. And I just had to, bring it home. And obviously I can't talk too much about my part, but it was fun. It was action. It was, and then trying to wrap it up within the realm that had been created. Again, a challenge, but it was fun, and thankfully it came to me quickly. So, but it was really fun. Mind Meld was a good time, and it was funny because I was talking with Lewis too, and he was like, I don't know what to call this. We were talking about ideas, like this idea of bringing authors together to do one thing, and I think he and I kind of hashed out Mind Meld, and so that's where that name came from. And hopefully, Nebula Pearl does really, really well, and there'll be more Mind Meld projects ahead.
Definitely.
It was so much fun. It really was. I mean, when I got Cara and Alfred's part, they texted me and they're like, so what do you think? And I was just, we talked and we were laughing, and I think we were in some sort of a call and we were talking about it face to face, and they were like, yeah, so we thought this and we did this, and they just had such a great time setting up the initial, because there was no direction. It was like, go ahead and start it. And so they had totally free reign when they came up with their part. So they had a really fun time setting it up. And then when they're like, so this is what it is, and before I even got to read it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is going to be so much fun. So then when we actually got to see it and write on it, I got so excited. After everybody did their part, I would go back in and I get to read what Mike had just done. And then when CB did his, I got to read like from beginning to end. And I'm just like, so I like almost forgot where my part was because it just flowed so easily, if that makes sense.
It fit together.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Yeah. Because I was like, wait, was that my part? Or was that still Cara's part? No, I don't remember. And then I like had to go and count pages. I'm like, oh no, that was mine. Oh. Because it had been a while since I had gotten to read it, but it was so much fun, and I really do hope Lewis does more of these.
You bet.
Because it was a hoot.
I can see, given this entire indie comics cluster we've got here, and we have many who are in the chat as well, I can see more indie folks copying this model and going this way, because it is really a blast. It gives you an opportunity to work with a bunch of people you like, and there's no downside. I guess that's the point. There really is no downside, and you get to be creative and get to be a part of something really fun. Whether you're writing it or you're dragging people in to do covers for it, whatever have you. I mean, it's a community thing. It really is the ultimate expression of the indie comics community when you think about it. And it's a great, it's a great model. And I'm glad that somebody finally had the great idea to do it. and it's too bad his Wi-Fi connection is apparently crapping out on him, so he can't hear the great praise and thanks that I'm heaping upon him. But you know,
I just want to see him turn red just a little bit.
I bet you. You know, it's too bad we don't still have that 3/4 view. I really would have liked to have seen that Mike Tyson tattoo on Lewis's face there. You know, maybe add a couple of teardrops in the corner. You know, that would rock. You know, well, Lewis hears everything. Oh no. Well, good. I'm glad. You know that I'm glad I was putting the compliments out there and wasn't doing the material I had written for the Luis Torres roast that we were, you know, hoping to pull out later.
That's on April 1st.
Yeah, there you go.
And it'll be part of Russ Explodes. Okay, so mark it down. April 1st, the Luis Torres roast.
Yeah,
there you go.
Definitely. Let's do it. That sounds awesome. And this project does sound like a lot of fun. It's kind of like, it reminds me, it's reminiscent of like the choose your own adventure books that we used to read as a kid. It's like you get to a certain point of the story that somebody else has already written and you get to choose your own adventure, and that's really cool.
Turn to page 64.
Yeah, my gosh, that was my whole childhood. I think those books were amazing.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the Nintendo ones were a lot of fun too, because they had ones for like Blaster Master and some of the other older games that were like choose your own adventures, and those were freaking incredible.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but didn't Black Mirror on Netflix do like a movie where you could choose like your own adventure?
Yeah, I heard something about they had done something like that. I didn't know what the name of the show was.
Yeah.
That would be creepy.
Well, folks, I just need to say that it has been tremendous fun, and I would have been here for all of the time, but I have these conflicting commitments. The ambassador to Belgium, I hear him knocking on the door downstairs as we speak. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to step out. But thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Lewis, and everybody for being part of this project and for including me. And just keep the faith and keep talking this up. And I know that you all have other projects to talk about, so just hit it.
Thanks a lot for being here, Michael.
Thank you for having me, Russ. I appreciate it. And I'll be back for whenever you do this again.
All right. Awesome. Talk soon, Nick.
All right. Take care, everybody.
And then there were four.
What can you tell us about Xenonanite Titan?
Xenonanite Titan. So, Xenonanite Titan. Actually, so since we're talking about it, we'll talk about the cross promotions real quick before we get on the subject. So, everybody that backed Fire Bitch 2, everyone that backed Naughty Fairies Con, everyone that backs Into the Suck 6, and everyone that backs Nebula Pearl will get. What did I do with it? Did I delete it? Obviously I did. That's it. I'm fired. Well, I put it in the video.
That was such a beautiful setup, too. I was like, drum roll. Where is it?
Yeah, well, I uploaded it. Well, I blame Lewis because he sent me that messed up graphic and I deleted one. I think I deleted the banner for the cross promotion.
Oh, clearly it was Lewis's fault.
Hold on, I'll just add it in here. If I get kicked, I apologize. I'll be back. We're going to put it on here.
Xenonanite Titan, choose your own title adventure.
Choose your own title adventure? Yeah, that sounds awesome. We need to do that. So Xenonanite Titan.
Syllable.
Choose your own syllables.
Courtney, I have something to talk to you about that's going to be a little different for you. We'll do it off camera, but it hit me in a moment as we've been talking, so I didn't want to forget it, and in case I did, I know if I bring it up to you, you'll remind me. So
okay.
And everybody who's here will be very excited if this does happen. So I'll just leave it at that. Teaser.
Okay.
All right, guys. So everybody that backed all of those amazing projects will get this awesome connecting tier print set right here. So if you backed Into the Suck, you get the Into the Suck print, you get the Nebula Pearl print, Fire Bitch print, and the Naughty Fairies Con print. And that is freaking awesome. You guys did a great job on that.
They're so cute. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you back Xeno Nanite Titan and Nebula Pearl, you will get this awesome sticker right here.
That turned out so cool.
It did turn out really cool. Especially when Lewis sent me the one with the right spelling of receive on it. Like, he sent me that like 2 weeks ago, and I can't believe he just now noticed that it was spelled wrong on there. It's funny. But yeah, no, Xeno Nanite Titan, I'm re-releasing it on February 16th, if you guys haven't heard. Mike, if you're in here, throw the pre-link up for me, because my computer has locked up on me after Michael left, so I'm reloading it. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got a lot of new art that I'm having done. I've got the cross promotion with Nebula Pearl. That's going to be really super sweet. And also, we will have the cross promotion with Mr. CB Zane over there for End of the Suck 6 for a double-sided metal art card that will have the art of Steph Wilson on one side with Squee riding Wyvernite.
That turned out so
I love it.
I know.
And the other side will have Ruben Rosas Squee riding Wyvernite. So not only is the art freaking amazing, but what better of a crew to have on each side of an art card, you know, mortal enemies facing off in battle.
I love it.
But yeah, they turned out phenomenal.
Courtney, you better have recognized Steph's homage there, did you?
Of course, heavy metal.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I would have been so disappointed.
Yeah, everybody that I've leaked it to, they're like, "Oh man, that's awesome, heavy metal." I'm like, "Yeah, it's sweet," and that was Steph's idea too. So Steph did a great job.
And he still has the movie, has he?
I don't
know.
I'm sorry, geez, I love Steph. Steph's awesome.
We love Steph.
I don't want people to think I'm picking on him.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to load this stuff up, and I missed all these comments.
I think if we're not picking on Steph, then he thinks something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you don't pick on Steph for a few days, he does message. He's like, is everything okay? I haven't heard from you in a while. I was like, yeah, don't worry. I'm making a giant Photoshop of you. Oh, man. And it's nothing better than, hold on, guys, for everybody that's in here that hasn't seen this. I mean, here's not that. I'm clicking on this. See, I told you my computer's gone AWOL on me. All right, you can come down off of there now. Hold on. My computer's gone totally wacko. Hold on, we'll get the right image here, guys. I'm clicking on one thing and it's bringing up another. There we go. There's the mortal enemies entangled in battle. There's Ruben Rosas and Steph Wilson. Oh, he's been razzing me all night, so it's time to razz him a little bit. You know, we could bring up the whole Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins #5. I'm telling you, I'm sending this to Wendy. Wendy, you got to include this in as somehow, like a stretch goal, something, a print. You know, stuff cool with his stick unicorn. So yeah, anyway, back on subject, guys. So Xeno Nanite Titans re-releasing on February 16th on Kickstarter. We lowered the goal down. Actually, if you guys want, I'll show off the preview of it. It is live on Kickstarter right now for the Notify. It'll give me a second to bring it up. But yeah, everything's done for it. All the art's done. There are a few things that I'm tying up on a few ends that I may add in as stretch goals. They've got some really cool stuff going on. I did drop the art book. I know, boo. I've had a lot of people be like, why would you drop the art book? I love the idea. I love the idea, too. It was a great idea, but not before the book came out because there's really no following for the book yet. So I did drop the art book. I do plan on doing it later because I already put all the work into it. So why wouldn't I print it? Of course I will. You know, we might do it on the 1-year anniversary of the launch, or, you know, we may include it with book 2 and do like a combined book 1, book 2 art book. So you guys will get everything book 1 and 2 in one book, and it'll be cheaper for everybody. So it's definitely going to happen, but we did drop it, so that was able to lower the goal. So it's going to be awesome. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm going to have some more funny memes to post up about it like I did last time. I'm working on those as we speak. So what about you, CB? You just launched an awesome campaign for End of the Suck 6, the grand finale. Backer number 1 right here.
Yes, you were. Number 1. Yeah, it's been a really good start, and I'm so happy, and it's honestly kind of bittersweet. This is the last issue of Into the Suck for this story arc, and it was written by Keith Thomas, and I have to praise Keith. He's no longer with us. He lost the battle with pancreatic cancer a few years back. Shortly after we had published the first book, and we had done the Cleveland Wizard World Con together, promoting it, and it was sad. It was a tragedy, but we got to complete most of the issues. He got to see just about everything before he passed, and I made sure I was working on the final issue when he was really kind of bedridden, and I made sure I finished the last few pages to show him, including the cover. That is the main cover where I drew Keith on it, kind of looking up proudly at his girl Ursula. So I was, like I said, it's a bittersweet thing, but I do plan to keep Into the Suck going. I think it's a great conclusion. I even went back and read a few interviews that Keith had done, and he wrote all 6 issues like as if he was thinking of it like it was a movie, and it plays out that way. And what was amazing, like he had never really said it to me that way. We had talked about, well, once this story arc ends, what do we do with the next one? And so I've run with that, and I actually have the next miniseries written out, and I've even started writing the 3rd one when it comes time for it. But I wrote the 2nd series like it was a movie myself, and then when I went back and read his interview, I thought, wow, we never talked about it playing out like a movie. And even though comic books are like that, they're cinematic. They're I know it's so hard to talk when all this stuff is going on off to the side. Even though they play out like a storyboard, So, but I'm excited. It's already the second most successful campaign for Into the Suck already, and it's not even 3 days old. So I'm really happy about that, and I hope it continues to go strong. And I feel like with each campaign, it's found a new following and a new group that kind of hears about it and invests in it. And I just think it's worth it.
Yeah, and this lady over here has a awesome cover in this issue as well. I'm loading it up right now.
Awesome.
And we'll show that off for Miss Courtney over there. Come on, you can upload. There you go. Right there.
There we go.
That was a lot of fun to draw.
It looks phenomenal.
That was a lot of fun to do. So thank you, CB.
Oh, it was great. Courtney showed me a picture. She's like, what about like a pose like this? And I was like, oh my God, like, yes, do that. And I said, even the face expression like fits Ursula. And she was like, oh, I was just thinking like the body position, but yeah, I'll see what I can do. And she came back with it, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God, like that is Ursula. So Ursula. And to make it even better, it's Courtney's art. And I absolutely love like Courtney's art and the eyes that she does, the Turner-esque Courtney eyes.
Yeah.
Are so fantastic. So I don't know, and there's more to it. I mean, if you go on the site, there's the rest of it's actually like a futuristic cybernetic galactic wanted poster. So there's that, and then of course Courtney came up to me and said, like, I want to do something for like a sticker, and I was like, oh yeah. And again, she threw a couple poses my way, and I said, yeah, go for it. An Italian artist, Francesco Tomaselli, that I found doing some searches, and I loved his work. It's very unique. And to me, some of the stuff that I saw from him almost had a little bit of an Adam Hughes feel to it, which was amazing. This is Ash Mahdi. He's the wonder from down under. We've worked together on a couple of things, and colors by Sanju Nivangun is he is just one of the best in the business. And Ash like came up with this. This actually started, and it may be offered at some point how it originally was done, but this was offered as like an Instagram picture. So there's actually a border that goes with it, except it was called, I think we called it Cosmic Gram. And there's a little like, communication at the bottom of it. But when we saw Sanju's colors, and I was talking with Ash about it, I was like, I almost like it better without the border. And he was like, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. So we went with that one, which is of Emery, the mechanic that is in Into the Suck. So and it turned out really, really nice. I don't know. I could go on and on because I absolutely love the covers for this issue. It is such a good lineup. I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy with the way it turned out, and I still have 2 more to reveal. One of them will be revealed this Thursday, and I think people will be very excited about that one too. I've seen it, and it's another awesome cover, and it's a fan favorite artist. I'll leave that one out there, but Thursday, and I'll be teasing throughout the week too, leading up to it. But yeah, if I appreciate everybody who's backed it so far, and anyone that can help spread the word. I know we always talk about like our comic unity, and what a great group. I mean, everybody who's here in the chat room, Russell, Wendy, Courtney, you guys all share and send things out, and I'm so appreciative of it because I suck at like self-promotion. I wish I was more of that person. I need to hire like December and Wendy and everybody else to do it for me is what I need to do. But so I appreciate it. I do my best, and really I kind of hope that the quality of the book that I put out speaks for itself when it's all said and done. So.
And Miss Wendy, you have what, 28 hours? I think the last time I looked, 26.
I think so. Yeah, I've really tried not to look at it because this one's been a really tough.
A train wreck. Kickstarter has been an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, and the sad thing is that it's not. I mean, the campaign is fantastic, and we were off to such record-breaking start, and I mean, we funded so quickly. We had like I want to say we were close to 20,000 on the first 24 hours. So I mean, we were doing fantastic, and then for whatever reason, Kickstarter's just having technical issues, and they keep saying it's working, and I keep getting messages saying it's not. But I do have a workaround, and I set that up on my Etsy store. So if you go to Etsy.com and type in Naughty Fairies, you can find all of the Kickstarter stuff there. So between Kickstarter and the Etsy store, we're at like 23,285. So we're really close to unlocking another stretch goal because I'm going to keep that going. And we're also doing a backer kit. So if you weren't able to pledge during the Kickstarter campaign, the backer kit will continue so you can still get in, and you'll still get the bonuses and the stretch goals, just because we had so many issues with Kickstarter. And it also allows you to back Naughty Fairies if you missed out, so you can get those cross promotions like with Jim Noble and Fire Bitch and Into the Suck, as well as Nebula Pearl. So I wanted to make sure it was just accessible. Plus, we still have the scavenger hunt available. This is still going on with Ursula and Ginger Snap. So this is available. Oh, this is available on the Kickstarter page, and plus there's a link where you can just download and print it out, so you can just cut out the girls and take them with you and go to the different locations. CB and I have a really cool cross promotion. So just that, both projects alone, we've got that, and that I think we'll be posting tomorrow.
Yes.
I think tomorrow.
Or maybe even later tonight. Depends on how late I'm up. So. Yeah.
Because it's only like 7 o'clock here, and I know it's like 10 o'clock there.
Yeah. I still have a bunch of hours to go. As long as I stay awake.
But we have so much fun. I mean, CB did such a great job on, like, this is the beer cover of Ginger Snap. It turned out so cute. She's darling. And then
You gotta have that concession.
absolutely. And then we've got the, okay, you can't see this side, but you can see this side. So these are the metals. So we're doing metal prints as well as metal covers and mystery envelopes. This was CB's Ginger Snap.
That's beautiful.
It turned out so, I know it's so reflective. They're like mirror-like. They're so magical. And
I
then,
had so much fun drawing Ginger Snap, by the way. And I'm so I'm so mad because secretly, like in my sketchbook and off the side, I've been trying to draw this character with curly hair that just unfolds. And you came up with one, and I'm like, ah. And so I wanted to draw it, and I finally got the hair like the way I love her hair. It was so much fun to draw. Such a great design. I had a blast drawing.
Beautiful. It turned out so beautiful. And I was so happy because CB did the colors on this, and he was like, oh, just have somebody else do it. And I said, no, we got this. And she's got freckles. I love the freckles that he did on her. She's just beautiful. And then this was our cover art book, and CB did a naughty and nice variant on this, and it turned out it's so naughty fairies.
Oh, it's awesome. The t-shirt's amazing too.
Yes, we have the shirt, the t-shirt, and then that's also our convention program. Initially, when I was starting to figure out what I wanted to do with the Naughty Fairy Con, I was going to do a trade. And when CB sent that, I was like, oh, this is a perfect trade. I'm like, oh, wait, no, this is a perfect program. It's a perfect cover art book. It just encompasses Naughty Fairies. So it just is fantastic. And I'm so happy with all the pieces from Steph Wilson. Courtney Rose did a beautiful job on her cover. April colored. Yes.
I love April's colors.
So beautiful. I love the fact that April just kind of was like, do you care how the color palette's going to go? And I said, no, I know you like experimenting with it. So have fun, make it different, because that's going to make it stand out a little bit more than what everybody else has. So when she sent me the colors, I was just like, oh, this is fantastic. And she goes, and we can make it naughty, super easy, because she did all hand coloring on that piece. So it's great. Yes, it does. So, you know, Steph Wilson and Carrie Ann did a great job on their cover set. This is the motorcycle one with the tattoos, with and without tattoos. So there's these two. So that's Aislinn for the cover art book. And then this one with the tattoos. And the not tattoos.
I love that name for that character too, Wendy.
Aislinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
wanted to name my daughter, and Bill was like, no, he didn't like it. So we settled on Aura. Her name's Aura. But I was like, Aislinn, Aislinn Bride was what I wanted to name Aura. And we couldn't agree. So we settled on Aura, and then he got to name the boy. So he named it after his dad. And then the Snap cover set. So we've got, this is
The Steph Wilson booty cover.
Yeah.
You got to have Steph Wilson booty cover. And then the green top is a t-shirt design too. So we have so many cool things. We've got the Keith Garvey cover set that turned out great. We still have April and John Rhodes did this one here. I have to cover. This is the winter of the 3, and then the 4th one will come out for summer. And April's doing a great job on that one. She was sending me colors the other day. Turned out really cool.
Gorgeous cover. Actually, Wendy, you have so many great covers on that campaign. I remember like looking for which one I wanted to choose, and I'm like, holy cow, I can't afford all of them, so that's out. So what do I go with? But really, just so many good covers.
Thank you so much. So, I mean, between that, I mean, we've got all the Zippo lighters. I mean, we've got the cards. Oh my goodness, that fell right out of the box. You get a cool box too. So this is the Garvey, and it's a naughty and nice. So the other side has it's the naughty variant. And
then you got the bottle openers too with the if you missed out.
So that David Harrigan's the bottle opener here. Oops.
Whoops. Pop that top.
You don't have to cover up pasties. Wink.
Put some on there. And then so we just have so many cool things. I just think it was too hot for Kickstarter that they were trying to fill my role, which is okay. Because we're going to make sure that everybody gets whatever it is that they're looking for, whether it's covers, goodies. Bye, Jackie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, things happen, and we just got to stay positive and make the best out of it. And that's okay.
Hey, Philip. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Prayers for you and your family.
Oh.
Feel better, Philip.
Yeah.
William says you're over 10K now on Kickstarter, CB.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just checked. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. And we're one backer away from unlocking another cross promo thing too, that I'm doing with Tom Hutchinson that we talked about even before Comic Unity, a crossover in the Critterverse and Into the Suck. So, and you can see that on Kickstarter too. So that's going to be a fun project. Probably come in sometime in the fall. So
Exciting.
Lots of things planned. Oh man, if I could just find an extra hour or two in the day, I'll get all these projects done in 2021 that I want to. But I'm really excited. It's so many things. I feel like I have my hand. I'm cooking 10 different meals at this point, and I kind of like it, even though it drives me crazy. But Into the Suck 6, writing. I've already started working on Might #2, and I've already started working on the next series of Into the Suck. And I have a character that I've only teased just a little bit coming out this year, and I don't know exactly when that's happening. It might be the end of 2021. Called Black Rabbit. That is going to be. I'm going to be diving into the naughty realm there. It is definitely going to be an NC-17 type of book, I think. Something that's completely different for me. And I think that works well because I find myself, I have so many stories I want to tell and not enough time. And so all of these, like Into the Suck gives me a chance to do sci-fi. Mike gives me a chance to do kind of the good superhero. Black Rabbit's going to give me a chance to do, I guess, something more that's delicious for Wendy, maybe. And then there's Scorpiana. That's sort of an in between. It's sort of the dark hero. So I know, Courtney.
She's like, nope, not yet. Nope.
Courtney, I don't think I've ever asked you that. Do you write at all?
I sort of. I've actually, for like the last year and a half, I was actually trying to write a movie script to pitch. But then when COVID hit and Hollywood kind of went to crap, I was like, well, that's a stupid idea. So I haven't touched that project in a while. But I was considering maybe trying to rewrite it for like a graphic novel. So maybe, once I'm ready to sort of take a break and not do as many covers for other projects, maybe I'll start trying to do that again. Like, I'm a very inexperienced writer because I've never written like a comic book or anything before, so it's going to be baby steps and just learning for me, and we'll see what happens. So
that'd be cool.
But that screenwriting, like for a film, isn't far removed from what a comic book script is. It's really very, very similar, and maybe even easier. So, who asked? There was a question I saw.
Well, you'll get to see the one of the preview images of Black Rabbit in the Comic Unity book, which is going to be coming
Right.
soon.
Ooh.
I am so excited.
Yeah, the first actual look at the character herself. So
Wait till you see. So on Tuesday, you should be getting your package, CB, and you'll get to see Elias's cover. I'm sending you the mock-up. And
ooh.
the cards for your signatures. So once you get those done and sent back, because everything, I'm just waiting on you and Tom to approve your proofs, and then everything can start going to print.
Yeah, and you sent me that video the other day, and it looked amazing on the video how well it turned out. So yeah, I think people are really going to be happy with those books. And I don't know, I look so forward to working with all you guys again. It's a blast. Wendy, you're awesome to work with. Russ, you're so supportive. I know Russell said that about support, and I appreciate it. Or not Russell, Lewis. And Lewis is awesome. He really is. He's very. I know we rib on him all the time, but Lewis is very thoughtful and very generous. You know, just these tents that he sent us alone is just a small type of thing he does behind the scenes. So he's really cool. Gosh, I wanted to respond to one of these comments and now I can't find it, and it's buried somewhere. But so I apologize. But
so if you have a question for CB, just type it again so that he can see it.
Are you talking about this one? Or are you talking about the one where Jack said, "Does that mean we might get a book from you?"
Yeah, that's the one I was looking for with Jack. Yeah, I mean, you kind of do. Scorpiana is Scorpion and Into the Suck. Even though I don't write those, when Keith and I came up with Into the Suck, it was a collaborative effort. In fact, I contacted Keith first, and I was between projects, and I said, because Keith and I had worked on something for Big Dog Inc. together, and I said, Keith, do you want to, maybe do something? Do you have time? And he's like, yeah. And so he threw a few ideas at me, and we settled on Ursula as the story. And I just thought, yes, like this is where we need to go, and it just blossomed from there. And then Mike Shoemaker and I have known each other. We've never met in person, which, I mean, I haven't met any of you in person, but I consider you my friends. And Mike and I have known each other for, I bet, close to 20 years. And we have had project idea after project.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
After project idea. And Scorpiana was born through another project, and we decided to go with her. So, but yeah, like writing full on. I mean, Might, I guess, is my first book where I'm doing all the chores. So you get to see my first piece as part of Comic Unity, and then Into the Suck going forward, and Black Rabbit. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and for Black Rabbit,
and then Wendy has a special part coming.
I am so excited.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I put the space ones off to the side. I have to see if I have them over here. I do. Oh, look at this. I can throw the space ones on.
No, what I was going to say is you definitely need to get a Courtney cover for that Black Rabbit, it sounds like. She always
I'd love to do that.
She always comes up with awesome ideas on your art show, like, the summoning circles around the nipples and like all kinds of crazy stuff.
I know. I should. Courtney's sort of my uncredited art director when it comes to things like that. I always know, like, if I throw something out there, she's gonna have an idea. So I love that. That's so cool. That's one of the best parts too about being collaborators with everyone. Is just I am such a fan of not only the finished part but the collaborative process. Like talking about Courtney's cover when we came up with that Wanted poster, and it's just so cool to see her take on the character and like, hey, I was thinking about doing this, and I mean that's just I love it. I'm a creator, I'm an artist, but I'm first and foremost, when it's all said and done, just a fan, an art fan of what people are doing. So like when I see Wendy's covers and Steph's artwork and Keith Garvey and Courtney's, and I'm looking over the top of my my computer right now, and I have Courtney's original art. I'll show this that she did for me. My Ray, my sexy Ray.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
And it's right here, and it's always inspiration. I have all this original art around me, and I love it. It's so cool. Oh wait, I'll show it again. Sorry, I didn't know you're.
So beautiful.
It is. It's oh, I love it. And Ray being one of my favorite characters, and then you mix it with Courtney's art style. And her and I got to exchange our Star Wars art. So
yeah, she got her Mando.
That is just still one of my favorite pieces, Courtney. I was just like, that is just amazing.
Yep.
You know, it was funny. I was telling CB when I was coloring Ray, because I was trying not to give her like my normal signature eyes that everybody likes in my artwork. And I was starting to color her in, and I was doing her skin tones. And for whatever reason, the only part of ink that decided to bleed on that was around the eyes. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit. And it just kept spreading the black and spreading the black. And I was like, well, she wasn't supposed to have my smoky eyes, but CB's going to get it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad, because that's the other thing too. Like when you draw a character like that, sometimes it's tough, because for me, I always want to try to capture the likeness. Like I did on Monday night with the Denise Richards piece from Wild Things. She, I don't know, just sort of fits into my style, or like a comic book style, her look. So it kind of worked out. But, you know, I've drawn Ray before, and I'm so conscientious of it, rather than just doing it in my style. And I'm so glad that that was a happy accident, Courtney, because I would want it to be in your style, you know, or like when Steph does his homages, like it's Steph's style, but it's still like those characters. And I love that, because sometimes I get caught too much in just trying to photo reproduce everything instead of just doing the style. So that's why sometimes I like to do just zany style and just forget about things for a while.
No, zany style is amazing.
Thanks.
Trish, I actually am a big con goer, especially for my local ones here. Since I'm in Massachusetts, we do have a few. I've just never actually like had my own booth before. Maybe I'll try that. You know, that's another little adventure that I can take. But I was always a big con goer, just to go and see artists that I like, and you know, people that cosplay and things like that. So it's been in the back of my head for maybe when they open up again. You know, I'm in Massachusetts, but I'm actually pretty close to the Rhode Island border, and Rhode Island in Providence has a very, very large con. So that's something I might do. We'll see.
Come on, CB, I'm waiting for you to say Boston.
That's not me. And Courtney, you don't have that Boston accent at all.
No. It only comes out when I'm really angry, because then I'm not thinking about how I'm speaking.
I'm still laughing at what Bill posted. He's like, it's probably been like a month ago, and he was like, it's for the first time ever I figured out that Wendy sounds like the Tasmanian devil when she's mad.
We were in the car, and I was trying to text something, and it didn't go through, and just out of nowhere I just went, and my husband was like, what is wrong with you? Because she just turned into the Tasmanian devil, and he goes at the end.
Yeah. And then it was so funny. Steph posted that text message from you that was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh my gosh, she texts like the Tasmanian devil too. I was cracking up.
I told you guys I'm not a swearing person. So I just don't. I mean, I have, I just don't. Poor Steph.
Wow.
A new goal in life to see Courtney speak in her Boston
There you
accent.
go. See, now they'll be after your Boston accent, and they'll leave me alone about F-bomb.
Hey, I tried today. I tried to help Lewis out. I was like, Lewis, look, we made this shirt last night. I'm like, it's gonna be perfect. Like, I'm gonna see if Wendy will read it for me before we go live. But it didn't work
Something
out.
about ducks. I don't know.
Here we go. Here it comes, Lewis.
I can't. I'm thinking about it. I can't. You have to I have to be angry or like online gaming because then I'm angry. So like that's when you'll really hear it.
So you like online gaming? What kind of games do you play?
Well, before my PS4 broke, I did a lot of online gaming. Like open world gaming.
Yeah.
I was probably one of like the few people who still played like Destiny, but I spent like hours in there online gaming with other people, So usually that's when it would come out because I'm getting aggravated and then I just start talking and everybody's like, oh, you have a Boston accent. I'm like, oh, oops, I forgot about that.
I think giving up gaming, not even giving up, just not keeping up with the new systems was one of the best things that happened to me because otherwise I wouldn't complete half the art that I could.
Yeah. Because I got the Assassin's Creed Valhalla for Christmas, and so like my friends are playing, and they're like, "Oh, where are you? Have you gone here? Have you gone here?" I said, "I literally have spent like an hour on it. I haven't even like really played, and that was just on Christmas." Because if I did, I would not get anything accomplished. Like
that's why I stopped playing World of Warcraft. I used to play that years ago, but like it would just eat up every free hour of my life. And I was like, this isn't healthy anymore for me. Like, I'm not getting anything done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Robert. It's dangerous. Right. I got Cyberpunk 2077, and despite what everybody says about how terrible it was, I enjoy it. I haven't had any problems. I play it on the PS4 Pro. And I was kind of late to the game, so there's already a few updates out. Because you know how it is anyway. Even when you buy the game on day one, it's been out for an hour. You get it home, it's like, please download version 1.04. It's like, there's already been 4 updates. It's only been out for an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one of the few games I've seen lately that made me say, like, I wish I should buy a system because I wanted to try playing that. That, and I always wanted to play Overwatch. I thought the characters looked super cool, but...
all the characters are awesome in there.
Yeah. But again, I need time to draw.
Yeah. And the gaming does take up so much time. It really does.
It does.
Yeah, especially the open world games, because you're like walking around for like, you feel like 10 minutes, you look at the clock and it's like 1:15 in the morning. It's like, what, I've been on here for 4 hours?
Yeah.
But I still want to finish this quest. I'm doing it. And it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like, whoops, what did I do?
I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I ended up wandering in the desert for like 4 hours. I was waiting for it to rain frogs, and it couldn't make it happen. And I was getting like, oh, I'm just wandering around. So, yeah, after that experience, I kind of decided that I needed to back away from the Xbox and focus more on comic arts. And, one of the blessings of COVID was being able to spend all that time being creative. I mean, I got so much more accomplished in this year than I have in the last 2. So, I'm thankful for that time and being able to spend time with my husband and my son. We're all home. When are we ever going to have that again? Like a year vacation, everybody's at the house.
Right.
I mean, I think that's probably one of the small blessings that came out of the pandemic for creators. My life really didn't change too much working in healthcare. Obviously, we have always been open through this, but, I look at all of you guys and that you got the chance to have this time to dedicate to your project. So, that's definitely one of the pros that, at least came out of this for all of you.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe I can learn to draw with my feet. I don't know. Or game with my feet and still draw with my hands.
There you go.
Exactly.
More tentacles. Just throw in more tentacles and you're good.
Yeah. Right. There you go. The other thing I realized too, like with my drawing, because I always have my tablet with me, is that I don't think I haven't sat down and watched the movie straight through in probably a year and a half. they're always on, and I'm always like drawing and watching and drawing and watching, and so I do miss the movies though. I can't wait for things to open up. I want to see a big screen movie.
Yeah.
See, the theaters actually did open up here. You know, it's very limited, you know, to get your seats, obviously, because they're spreading everybody out. But I ended up being able to go see Wonder Woman 84 in the theater since they opened back up. And I was like, you know what? The theaters are basically dying because of COVID. So I'll just go spend my money, you know, just to help out in any way I can. And it was so nice to actually see something on a big screen again and be able to go out and do that.
I know, I missed that.
You know what the highlight of my day was there for a while was Buzz posting all of his complaints about Wonder Woman 84. Did you see those, Wendy? I was dying laughing. Like every day he would post something about something, and it would always tie in to something about Wonder Woman 84 and how terrible it was. And I was just cracking up. It was funny.
I was so disappointed by that one. I really was. Like, I loved the first one. I mean, and it wasn't the acting. Gal Gadot is amazing. She's a fantastic Wonder Woman. It was so long and slow, and you know, I don't want to say any spoilers, but it could have happened without her in it.
Right.
It just was sad that way. It just seemed like the creative whatever just wasn't jiving, or they went off on their own direction, and it was a shame because there were so many things they could have done to really make that so much better, and missed opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking with somebody, and just the music choice alone, there was no 80s music in it.
Right.
Right. And even like, you know, the posters were such a big selling point for that movie because of like the bright neon colors. Like it had that whole 80s aesthetic that, you know, everybody really loved, and none of that carried over. There was no color filter, no nothing to like integrate that into the film at all. Like it was confusing. Like that was your selling point, but it's not in the movie whatsoever.
It didn't even have to be called 1984. It could have just been called Wonder Woman 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been let down.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, basically you take out that mall scene and that movie could have taken place anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know? And you could have written off Steve Rogers' little outfit trying on, you know, thing as him trying on stupid clothes. But I agree, Gal Gadot is a wonderful Wonder Woman. But man, that movie just so sad.
And they're talking about doing another one, so I hope they take some feedback from this one and make some changes.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And they missed that opportunity. I mean, like, because in 1984, Metallica did Ride the Lightning. And when she's riding the lightning, that would have been the perfect place to put that in. And when we were watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, they've got to do that. In the movie, they'll put that in there and it'll be perfect. And when it happened, Bill's like, yeah, there was no Metallica. And I'm like, how could you not have Metallica in 1984? Hello. That was perfect placement for that.
Like the only thing I really saw in Wonder Woman that had like 80s music was when they're in that guy's apartment. Like for a quick second, you see he has a record player in the background and there's like a Survivor record. And I was like, that's like the most 80s music we got in this whole film.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with Robert's comment there.
It doesn't matter who's acting in it. If it's got a bad script and it's not directed well, it's not going to carry over. And that's a bummer.
Yeah. Blame the millennials.
So Jim Noble's to blame, I guess.
No.
Yeah, I love that.
Jim at least would have kept it in the 80s, that's for sure.
Yeah. And he would have put 80s music in there, and he would have had people dressing more in the 80s. And, you know,
outside of the clothing really didn't feel very 80s. Like it was, but it wasn't. I don't know.
Everybody was wearing neon. You had neon. Everything was glow in the dark pinks and greens, and I didn't see any of that. You know, and the big hair. Nobody had big hair.
I really thought they would have made Wonder Woman's costume more Linda Carter like to fit the 80s. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the costume they've created for Wonder Woman in the film, but if it's going to be 1984, it should feel like 1984. And you know, she seems to be a very chic character with the times, and you would think she would have fallen into that, but
yeah. But the only thing about the Wonder Woman costume now is it feels very Xena.
Yes.
I mean, I love Xena, but
right.
I'm kind of like, oh, it's kind of like I think I saw a meme afterwards, and it was just like, you know, you've got her standing there, Xena, and she's just like, you just changed the color of my clothes. Like it's the exact same costume.
Yeah,
it's very similar.
To me, it fits her Amazon background, which I also think like those are two of my favorite parts of both movies. Was back on Themyscira when, you know, you see her life as an Amazon, even as a child.
Yeah.
I thought those were both really cool scenes, and I'm glad it was in 1984. I don't know what purpose it really served other than to just show more background.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least visually, it was very cool. So.
That was very beautiful, and you know what? I liked it, and I thought it was beautifully done. But as Amazons, they would have more combat instead of agility testing. I felt
agree.
like very agility testing on different things. Yep. Poor Courtney.
Yeah.
So if they had done more like, you know, the wrestling and the fighting, more archery, more things you would do as an Amazon warrior.
Yep.
Than just doing obstacle course.
Yep.
Look at all this wonderful Xeno nanite type happening as we talk about Wonder Woman, which wasn't related. Sorry, we got sidetracked.
No, you're fine. I was trying to load it and my computer completely crashed. It's been acting goofy since Michael left, so I was like, screw it, and I rebooted it and brought it back up, and now we're golden. But it sucks that Courtney, I think her phone died. She said her phone was kind of low, so I was hoping to ask her about that cover because, you know, Jim posted the other day about doing this cover with one person, and it turned into like 6 pairs of boobs, and I was like really wanting to get the down low on it, but I don't know what happened. So this is the new build of the Kickstarter, everybody. We still have the $10 digital tier. We're only doing the soft cover in this. It'll be $30. That's shipped and tipped. That's out the door. There's no shipping on it now. I was able to figure out a larger print run to be able to bring the cost of the book down, so that helped dramatically with everything. Plus, like I said too, I dropped the art book, so the goal is now $1,500 somewhere on here. There it is, right there. So the goal is now $1,500. We've got the $30 tier, which is a soft cover. You've got the $85 tier. There's only 5 of these. These are going to be a write-in tier. So as I'm writing book 2, which I've already started, and I'm probably about a quarter of the way through, there's going to be 5 tiers available that you can get a write-in for the book and be one of the characters in there. And, you know, if you don't want to use your name, you want to pick a name, it's going to be at the writer's discretion. There's not going to be anybody in the book like called ass face or, you know, some crazy stuff that you guys will come up with.
You need a taser face.
Yeah, taser face. Let's not even get started with that.
What if I want to be called Luis Torres? Is that allowed?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, CB, if you want to buy a write-in tier and just make it Russell's going for round 2 fight. That's right. This is 2021 is going to be my year. I feel good about this. Things are going well, and I'm doing better right now that I've been getting spine injections. So things are looking up around here. I've been back to work for a while, so things are starting to get back on track.
That's good to hear, buddy.
Thank you. And we've got the retailer tier. It's back, and it's around the same price of what the 5 book was in the hardcover. You're going to get anybody that has a store that wants to buy copies. It's turning it down to about $18. Well, exactly $18 a book. You can get 10 books for $180, and you'll still get all the stretch goals, of course. And then for $20, you can add on an extra copy. I put the little type down there. You know, if you want to gift a copy to a friend, a relative, a local library, I plan on setting aside a few books I'm going to give to the local libraries around here to try to get the word out and give people something fun to read. And the other reason why, too, is if you want to get a copy signed and you want a copy that's unsigned, you can. I do still have add-on capability like Wendy does. So hopefully mine works. We will see what happens.
Fine.
It'll be fine.
Or you know what? You can just go ahead and get rid of it now, so you don't have to deal with it.
I was just reading that stuff.
Yeah, you know what, Steph? It's potato. If you want to call it Xenonanite Titan or Xenonanite Titan, whatever you want to call it, you know what? It is what it is.
But you know what? We're all saying it correctly. Like we've all been practicing. All of us say it without even thinking anymore. It's not even an issue. Like you can say Xenonanite Titan and nobody even like has to think about it.
That's right.
Right.
It's become a common name now.
It is. Now it's just going to end up in the dictionary as a new word, and it'll be great.
Yeah, I was going to say Xenonanite Titan, and it's going to be super badass. That's what the definition is. Explosions. So
it needs explosions. It's Rust explosion.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, Wendy and I have already been planning on art for the second book. It's just going to be one big massive explosion, and all you're going to see is like eyes peeking through the explosion.
Right.
It's going to be super easy.
Yeah.
And so we still have the prints. The prints are going to be exactly like they were on the first book. There'll be 10 metal prints. So if only 3 people buy the prints, there'll only be 3 prints of the metal. I'm not going to do 10 of each. I'm going to do whatever you buy. So if you buy one and nobody else buys one, you've got a 1-of-1 metal print. And we've got the Harrigan one. And then, of course, the Alfred Trujillo Doobie Doobie Doo. And we've got
I even knew that was Alfred's work. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Armando Ramirez. And the Stefan Papadopoulos. Do what, Wendy?
Courtney's back.
Oh, she's back? Sorry, I'm on the Kickstarter page. I can't see that. Thank you, Wendy. And we'll add her back in there. Guess who's back? Back again.
Welcome back.
Courtney's back.
We have lots of questions for you, Courtney.
Yeah, we do. We have questions. I was disappointed I didn't get to ask my question.
Sorry, my phone completely died. I had to run and get my charger.
It's all good. The pressing everyone wanted your first kiss was Courtney, which we were all like, that's not really appropriate. And to ask when she's not on the air isn't right. But just so you know, that was the pressing question you missed.
When my first kiss was? I don't even remember.
CB's totally pulling your leg.
Some boy somewhere is just like,
he
doesn't remember.
Courtney, I won't tell if you don't tell.
Story. No, here's a funny story. It's very mean, but it's funny. I think I was like the 4th grade. There was this boy who had this huge crush on me. We're little kids. It's like a stupid crush, right? And it was lunchtime, and the whole school's in the cafeteria, and it was Valentine's Day. So he brought me in a box of chocolates, and I threw it at him and said we were just friends. So I like friend zoned this kid in the 4th grade and made him cry and run out of the cafeteria.
Why do you think I moved to where I live now? I couldn't stay in Massachusetts after that.
Oh, yeah. And I did send this a copy to Smithers. Smithers loved it. He said it. Oh, man. I can't think of the name of the book now. I totally brain farted. It's that time of the night where I get that brain fog stuff going on. But needless to say, Smithers loved it. He said it was awesome. He couldn't wait for book 2. And you guys don't have to wait long. I am writing book 2 now. Book 1's done. It's edited. I'm pretty much finished editing it. So, I mean, once the campaign's ended, the book will be completely done. All the artwork's already done. We just Ender's Game. That's what I thought. I was going to say Ender's Game, but I was like brain fart. Thank you, Smithers. So if I hold off back into
Russell,
Smithers, will come visit.
Russell, if you don't already have it on your page, you should put some testimonials on there.
Yeah, I was going to reach out to some people. So on Rust Explode Studios, you could actually leave reviews on my page since it's a business page. So any of you guys out there that have read the book or that if you guys enjoy the show, please leave a review. It'll help me be able to get my word out there on the page as far as doing the creator interviews, because I really want to get more eyes on your guys' projects. You know, when I have you, CB, when I have Wendy, when I have Courtney, when I have Steph, any of you guys, when you come on and talk about your projects, you guys definitely leave reviews, bring people in, let them come in and see your guys' work. And not only that, but if you guys have read a copy of Xeno Nanite Titan, Wendy and Smithers, definitely hit up the page, go to the review thing and say, hey, I read an advanced copy of the book, and leave your feelings. If you hated it, I can respect that. You know, not everything's everybody's cup of tea, but this book is awesome. It's not just a sci-fi book. Philip Russert will tell you. He read it. He said, dude, this is amazing. He said, this is so many layers of different genres of book. It's not just a sci-fi story. It's a human story. You can really relate to the character. And it's the homeless man behind the New York Times says Xeno Nanite Titan is the best fuel for the barrel he's ever used. Get out of here, Lewis. So, but it is. It's a human story. It's a character you can really relate to. And yes, there it is, right there. Philip Russert, great story, beautiful family and human story. It really is. Yeah. You know, and I wrote this story 10 years ago, and now I'm doing it as 3 separate books. But originally it was like a 900-page book. Book 1's only 200 pages because it is in a 6x9 format. It's not in the standard book format. If it would have been, it'd have been like right at 300 pages. But I wanted to do the book in 6x9 so you guys can really see the art. You know, I think 6x9 will really show everybody's work off. But, you know, I wrote it, and this underwent a ton of changes thanks to Yvonette Rivas-Fournier. You know, I talked to Wendy about it behind the scenes. Probably about almost 2/3 of the book probably got rewrote. I chopped this out. I added a bunch of stuff in. I made it more modern. And, you know, the struggles that I went through last year with, you know, my health issues from going from January to September thinking I had cancer on my spine. And, you know, it took them that long to finally say, hey, it's not cancer, but, you know, you've got 11 bulging discs and 2 blown discs in your back and 1 in your neck. And so, you know, it was a hell of a year. And, you know, then we had the stuff with Roderick. COVID shut down the hospital. He was supposed to go in to get his heart checked out. We couldn't get in. So I had all this just mental frustration, and writing is my out. And so I really had fun rewriting the book and putting new elements into it, bringing in a whole new story and just making it that much more awesome. And I think that's why I waited so long, is I didn't really feel like it was done. And now I can be happy with putting it out there and say, you know what, this is the way it was meant to be.
I think that's awesome. And I think sometimes through hardship, you know, you find the courage to do those things. And, you know, I applaud you for working through it. It's funny, as a creator, I used to always think, like, once I finished a piece of art, that was it. I was done. You're not allowed to go back and change it. And I've learned my lesson over the years that, you know, if it's not done, it's just not done. And so, you know, as a creator, especially when it's something that's personal for you, you know, when it's, I don't know how else to say it, when it's up to your standard, or maybe the better way to put it is, you know, when it is part of your heart and soul, and it's what you want it to be. So anything that's done with that, I think, is something that can be successful, because if it's there, if, like, you know, whether it's a human element or whatever, when the passion comes through, you know, people see it and they appreciate it.
Yeah. And, you know, the best part of the project was, you know, getting all of you guys on board with it. You know, I felt like it was an awesome thing to try to bring you guys into a whole new world. I mean, eventually Xeno Nanite Titan, I plan on it to be a comic book series. I didn't feel right. You know, I never really thought about writing a comic book. Let's back up a little bit. I never really thought about writing a comic book. When I got back into the con world 3.5 years ago, I was like, Xeno Nanite Titan would be a perfect character to do in a comic book. There's a story arc that could continue on past the book. And eventually, maybe down the road, I can publish the book and get my writing style out there and find someone that says, hey, I really love this story. Let's sit down. I want to do the art for this book. Let's write a script up and let's do a comic book series. Because there's so much stuff. I mean, the book's fast-paced. I don't dwell on anything too much. I don't beat you over the head about stuff that happens. But I make the character believable because, you know, you see too many sci-fi movies or any movie for that matter that people will go through something and they completely forget about it. Like something really bad happens that would like totally crush your soul. And then like later on, they're just like, my life is wonderful. And it's not that way with Raziel. You know, I don't beat your head over I don't beat you over the head with it. But there's reminders, you know that there's stuff that troubles him as he goes on. And it's kind of like my story of my pushing through the adversity of last year. I'm like, I don't care. You know, I started the podcast. It never really was meant to be this. You know, I just wanted to have you guys on and say, hey, these are the artists that did art for my book. I want to show them off to the world. And, you know, if there's any other authors out there that do novels, these people can do wonderful art for your covers, you know, open up your horizons to new customers. And then people started asking, hey, when can I be on your show? And I'm like, it's not really a show. You know, I just wanted to do this for the artists, but, you know, I don't have any problem having you on. You know, I love to promote people. I love to sit down and chat. So, you know, through pushing through the adversity, I was able to create a channel to help promote you guys, and it's grown into so much more. And there's a lot more that's going to be coming. With the first campaign failing, even though it failed, it was a win. And you guys will know why when I make the big announcement. So there's some really cool stuff going on. Wendy knows about it. I can tell you about it backstage if you want, CB. But just know that
I know things.
it's awesome. There's some awesome stuff happening. And I'm really happy with
Wendy is our creative therapist.
She is. There is no hardcover. See? Stuff's behind on the game. Be right back. Huskies have to go out. Very solid pace. Yeah, and, you know, it's one of those things, you know, that's what I hate. I love fast-paced stuff. I don't want people dwelling on, you know, they're like, you know, like, I'm not going to down on Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I love the book, and I love everything about it. But it's like, come on, man. We've been talking about trees for 20 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
But the Ents are amazing.
The Ents are amazing.
Trees. No, the Ents are awesome.
Yeah, but see, not all the trees are Ents. Now, when they're Ents, then, I mean, that was cool. When they did the whole battle scene, the Ents are running in and lobbing rocks, and they were just mowing people down. Now, that they kind of did that for like an hour. But, like, just to be like, do-do-do, and it's like, oh, here's some mountains, here's some trees. It's like, dude, this could have been a 2-hour movie, and it's 3 hours.
You cannot bag on Lord of the Rings. Nope. No place for you there.
You can tell what you said, you know, and that's the thing, you know, I'm not here to try to impress anybody with super sweet stuff, and, you know, I just want to get on here and chat with people. I am getting a banner though, Steph, so keep it down. At least if when I get one, I'll remember to put it up.
He has 2 up.
Well, no, see, Thursday he didn't have any of them up. He blames on the electrician coming. They weren't up. I was like, Steph, you know, you bag on me for not having a banner, and you've got a banner, and it's not even in the background.
I think it might be packed up.
No, he said it was. Carrie said it was moved over to the side.
Okay.
Russell
Well, here I am trying to defend, and it didn't happen. I tried. Sorry.
Steph's not on the screen. You're not allowed to talk about Lord of the Rings.
I love Lord of the Rings.
But, you know, the book, I love it, and I love promoting all of you guys, and I love being able to do these shows because, you know, we have such great interaction. We derail onto all kinds of crazy shit, and, you know, I do have to tell everybody this funny story before I forget to tell everybody. I've been trying to tell this for like a month. So I get aggravated at Tiffany about stopping and getting sodas when she goes out. Like, we have soda in the refrigerator, like, grab one before you go. But it's like $2 when you get one at the convenience store or at the drive-through now because of COVID. And so I told Roderick, I was like, the next time Mommy stops to get soda, yell as loud as you can. Be like, y'all have hot dogs? And so she goes to Sonic. And she orders at the screen, and she pulls around to the window, and Roderick is like, "Hey, y'all have hot dogs?" And the guy goes, "We sure do, buddy. You want one?" He's like, "Yup." And so the manager gave him a hot dog. And he was like, "This is perks of being the manager, buddy." He's like, "This is on the house." And Tiffany calls and she's like, "Thanks a lot. They probably think I can't afford to buy Roderick a hot dog because he asked for one." I was like, "You're never going to stop again, are you?"
Well, guys, I've got to get going.
Yeah, I get you.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, but
No, you're fine. We've been rolling for forever.
It was nice to see everybody in the chat.
Thanks for being
Yeah.
here, Wendy.
If you guys if you guys are able, use the app to back the Kickstarter for Naughty Fairies. If it's working, because I think, like Courtney was saying, she had to go in that way to get in, and that seems to be the only way that's working right now. So, if
Which
not,
way? That way?
yeah, I don't know. It's like a circle of doom. So we just have to be positive. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for supporting. Go to Into the Suck and back it now.
Yep,
So,
going in the suck and back it now.
And back Naughty Fairies too, of course. And then Russ, when he's got it, Xenonanite Titan, back that.
Yeah, back it all and get all the cool
And Nebula Pearl.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Wendy.
All right, bye, Wendy.
So, Courtney, the pressing question was, so what happened with this story with Jim? Jim apparently was talking about a May the 4th cover with 2 boobs and ended up with 6.
So it started on just doing one cover and then it just spread out to numerous. So he let me have kind of like free pick because I was going to do one of the characters. So chose one, going to do May the 4th, and then it just turned into, well, let's do a bunch more. And I was like, Jim, whoa, hold on. But it's going to be a big project, but I'm going to put faith in myself and tackle it. Jim's very, very excited. So hopefully I'll be able to make something really cool that you all really like.
Well, that's super awesome.
And it's Star Wars. So, hey, come on.
Yeah.
We all love Star Wars.
Circle templates of doom.
Yes.
So, well, I'll wrap it up, guys. I know you got stuff to do. Thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate it. Courtney, thanks a lot for joining in and letting me get you on live for the first time. It was a lot of fun having you on, and hopefully we start to see some more of you. Maybe hop on and do some live drawing, after you get recovered from the surgery. That would be fun to watch. We'd all come and watch you draw.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to have 2 full weeks of recovery time after surgery. So if I can't really do too much art, at least maybe we can get on camera and we can all hang out again.
Yeah. Sounds good. Russell, thanks so much for doing this and having us on. Courtney, so nice to talk with you live.
Yes, I have a voice. I'm just very sorry. It doesn't sound like a typical Boston accent.
No, I think it's better that way.
That's all right. CB does a good imitation when he's on. So.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Courtney. Have a great night.
You too.
And thank everybody for, thank you guys. I've been reading your messages about backing Into the Suck. I appreciate it. I really do. It means the world to me. So thank you so much. And Russell, thanks again. And both of you stay healthy. All right.
Yep. Appreciate it. Have a great night, CB.
And we'll talk soon. All right. Take care.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for being on tonight. It was a great show. Check out Nebula Pearl, dropping on February 3rd with awesome cross promotions. If you backed Fire Bitch 2, if you backed Naughty Fairies Con, which only has I think less than a day left on it, definitely go check it out, back it. If it doesn't work, try it on the app. If that doesn't work, just go to Etsy and type in Naughty Fairies and you'll find Wendy's page. It's also in the comments and I will add it into the link in the description. But there's awesome promos. So if you backed Nebula Pearl, Into the Suck, if you backed Fire Bitch 2, and if you backed Wendy's Con, you get those connecting prints. I will show them off again for you one more time for the people if you weren't here earlier. Give me just a second. Right here. These are all the cross promos. So you got the End of the Suck. It's one big connecting print. And if you back Xenonanite Titan launching February 16th, you will get this awesome cross promo sticker. And if you back Into the Suck with Courtney's cover and Ash Maddie's cover and all. Well, that's wrong. This is Ash Maddie's cover, and all the other awesome covers, and you back my project, you will also get this cross promo with Steph Wilson's art. You'll get a metal art card. It's got Steph Wilson's art on the one side with the heavy metal, and you have Ruben Rosas on the other side. And that is Squee from Into the Suck writing on Wyvernite. So check out Into the Suck, available on Kickstarter now. Nebula Pearl, available February 3rd. And Naughty Fairies Con is less than a day. Go back it. What are you waiting for? And Xenon Night Titan on the 16th. So great show tonight, guys. Had a lot of fun. Thanks for coming in and asking questions and commenting. Thank you, Philip, for being here. I hope you're doing well. Everybody keep Philip and JW Sims and Cara and Alfred in your prayers. They need it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's having stuff going on, so definitely keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And remember, everybody, Demon Nation is about to go live in about 7.5 minutes. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. As always, Rust Explode Studios, projects that'll blow your mind. Have a great night.